Welcome to Movie Division. Today I am going to recap the horror thriller movie entitled Southbound. Spoilers ahead, watch out. On a late night at an empty highway, Jack and his friend Mitch drive away. Jack reassures Mitch that they will be fine and they are going home, but Mitch brings out his daughter Catherine's picture and checks it. The following day they remain on the highway, and Mitch sees a bony scarecrow flying after them. He looks at the scarecrow and gets distracted. When Jack notices, Jack asks what he is looking at, but he tells them he's fine. They eventually get to the south and they find a cafe. After a long night on the road, resting and cleaning up at the cafe sounds like a great idea, so they stop their truck and enter the cafe. Mitch enters first and the attendant tells them the cafe is only for her customers. Jack walks in, so she calls her attention. He pays for the fuel to gain entrance into her cafe. She notices he is rough, and she asks him if he had a rough night. He goes to the bathroom to clean up, and as he attempts to remove his clothes, thereby lifting his clothes to his head, a creature drags and hits him from behind. The hit on the bathroom walls shakes the cafe, and Mitch also notices, but finds out the other guests at the cafe aren't concerned. Mitch looks out and sees the scarecrow again. Jack eventually comes out of the bathroom and tells Mitch they should leave. As he walks past the attendant, she tells him she hopes to see them again. They hurriedly enter the truck, and Jack also notices the scarecrow. They drive away but find themselves by that same cafe. The attendant asks if they had a rough night, but Jack drives away angrily. As they keep driving, they find out that they are moving in a circle, and they keep finding themselves at the cafe. Later, Mitch stops. He says he is no longer interested in running away, and it's not like there is something for him at home. Mitch tells Jack that getting home isn't that important, but Jack reminds him he was the one who told him to do it because of his daughter, Catherine. Mitch insists on not leaving, and Jack decides to leave him. Jack returns to the car, but the scarecrow is near him. He attempts to hit the scarecrow with his car, but the creature drags him out. The creature stabs him with its sharp body and then enters a nearby motel. Deciding to die along with his friend, Mitch follows the creature. He enters the motel and he sees a young lady. He recognizes her as his daughter, Catherine, and the girl keeps screaming that he should save her. He enters from room to room but couldn't find her. He screams in regret that he can't save his child and he dies there. In that motel, Sadie wakes up and realizes it's 1 p.m. She calls her friends, who are also the members of her band, Ava and Kim, a band called the White Tights. She tells them it's late and they should proceed on their journey. They enter their bus, which is filled with all equipment they need for work, and they start the journey. They drive along south without any issues until their bus's tire gets busted. They do not know where they are, and even Ava's phone isn't showing a location. Kim calls the nearby house there, which is about 4 hours, and the person who responds to her says she can't help her, but that they are on a private road. She tells her friend that the picker sounds like she is in the club, so even if they walk that far to the nearest house, they may not find anyone there. The girl resigns to fate and starts drinking. Ava and Kim sleep on the floor while Sadie climbs on the bus to sleep. She notices an oncoming car, so she calls her friend, and they go there. The car stops and it contains 2 weird couples. Sadie asks them if there is anywhere that she could fix their box, and the couple tells her there's only one mechanic shop, which is Pete's Auto Body, and they can't get there in minutes. The couple offer that the team follow them to their house till they find a solution, but Sadie says they are used to camping and sleeping in the bus, so they aren't interested in the offer. The couple also offer that they have a neighbor with a spare tire, which is just the same size as their bus tire, so if the girls come, they can get it for them, but Sadie refuses. She appreciates the couple's offer and tells them to leave. As the couple drive away, Kim screams out for them and tells them to wait. She says it's mindless to remain in that empty desert instead of accepting their help, and tells Sadie that they are the weird ones and not the couple. Inside the car, the wife asks what the girls do, and they tell her they are members of a band. Sadie asks when they have been living on that island alone, and the husband tells her it's since the war. She also sees a trap in the car's booth and asks about it. They tell her it's spoiled, and it's for the bears. They eventually arrive at the couple's house, and Sadie reluctantly enters. The wife tries to welcome them into her house. She tells them they will be entertaining a family, which she calls the Kensington, and tells the girls to take care and rest until then. She mentions that she is sorry about Alex, a member of the team which they had lost. Sadie asks her again what she has said, but she doesn't repeat the statement, and the other girls don't hear her too. Sadie feels unsure about her stay in that house, and she is uncomfortable. She tries to talk to her friends through it, but they do not believe her. They meet with the Kensingtons for dinner, and they meet 2 boys of the family which the couple says they have adopted. The boys ask if they had brought the band was for. The girls are served burnt roast beef, and Sadie refuses to eat it because she's a vegetarian. After the meal, she looks around the house to find an escape route, and Kim speaks to her. She accuses her of being responsible for Alex's death, saying Sadie allowed Alex to leave that night because Sadie wanted to have sex with a man. Sadie denies that, and as she is about to explain, Kim starts vomiting black remains. Ava starts vomiting too, and Sadie goes to call for help. They give her a white drink that calms the girls, and she begs her friends to leave with her that night, but they refuse. That night, she realizes her friends are out of the room, and she finds them doing an initiation with the family. She is caught by the bear trap she found earlier, and her friends attempt to catch her. She struggles and finds her way to the road, hoping to find a car. She coincidentally sees a car coming, and she stands in front of it to signal to the driver. Meanwhile, the driver, Lucas, is about to speak to his wife on the phone. He's looking at her dress option to tell her what she should wear, and he mistakenly hits Sadie. He leaves the car immediately to meet her, and he sees her bleeding. He's confused, and he thinks of what to do. His wife distracts him with a call, and he goes to pick up his phone. He calls 911, who attempts to dispatch help to him, but he can't pinpoint his location. Suddenly, he hears the attendant calling his name. He asks how they knew, and she tells him it's in his call record. They tell him that since he can't find his location, he should carry her into his car and take her to get help. He drives with her as the voices in the phone keep giving him directions. He can't find anyone to ask for help, so he sees a hospital. He enters it, and to his shock, the hospital is abandoned. He gets so confused and doesn't know what to do. While holding Sadie in his hands, her bone breaks, and the dispatcher tells him to find an incubator and try to put it in her throat. He does as he has been asked, but she bites his hands. A doctor joins the call, telling him to leave his hands there and also try to compress her lung. He mistakenly kills her by pressing her lungs. The voices laugh at him, and he attempts to leave. The hospital is closed, so he sits frustrated. He receives a call from the same people he was talking to, and they ask that he explains what has happened. He says it isn't his fault, and she was by the middle of the way. They admit it's not his fault, and they give him a place to find a dress and tell him to leave by taking a car. He sees the creatures at the back and asks if he should be concerned, but they tell him no. After he leaves, the dispatcher leaves the phone booth and enters a bar. She opens the door down and gets into an argument with the attendant, Al, and why she left the door open. A man, Danny, enters the bar with a gun, telling them he is looking for his sister Jessie. One of the men there, Warren, changes into a demon and attacks him, but Danny blows his hands off. Al says he knows where Jessie is and that he will take him there. He enters the place and sees Jessie putting tattoo on a boss's body. She hugs him but tells him she is there voluntarily and doesn't want to leave. Al tells him the same, so he blows Al's head off, and he kidnaps Jessie. As they drive off, the demons chase them. They drive for some time and the road becomes blank. Jessie tells Danny not to stop. He eventually stops the car, she tells him she killed their parents and doesn't deserve to live in this world, but the monsters saved her. The demons come for Danny and Jessie drives away. She returns to the bar and a young girl, Jim, who was going to college the next week, sees her. Jim returns to her parents as they had planned to have their last weekend together. As they leave the bar to their vacation house, a car is seen watching them. At home, the family prepare for dinner and her father, Daryl, hears some sounds outside. He quickly tells them to call the police, then 3 masked men enter. The masked men take Daryl and his wife, but Jim hides. Daryl asks them what he has done and one of the men looks at him. He realizes what he has done but gets them. One of them whispers what he has done to his wife and says it's an eye for an eye. So they kill his wife. As they prepare to kill Daryl, Jim distracts them with the car horn. The other 2 men ask Jim to leave when they kill Daryl. They show him Catherine's picture as he dies. 2 of the men removes their mask and reveal they are Jack and Mitch. As they are about to leave, Jim hits the last man with a wood. She injures them and Mitch kills her. The men feel guilty and the ground opens, revealing the scarecrow-like creature. The 3rd masked man is dragged back and Jack drives away with Mitch, telling Mitch they will get home. They outrun the breaking grounds and the next day, Mitch checks Catherine's picture and then notices the creature beside them. They drive into the cafe and the first scene in the movie ends there. If you enjoyed the recap, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell to get notified when we post the next fascinating recap. It really helps our channel and encourages us to make more quality videos for you. And don't forget to comment down your favorite part of the movie. Thanks for watching.